Hello and welcome. Today we are going for a bit of explore. We have just started from where I got lost from the hidey hole, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you back to the original video I did in Billund. Now I know the wind's really strong, so we will go forward facing. I'm not going to say anything, do a voiceover, and it is starting to rain, but this is going to mimic the first ever video that I did in Billund about this time last year. But I can see already they have actually added quite a lot of changes, so I'll get it facing forward and we will get going. So we have the famous "it's so easy you can walk," with a bit of a twist actually, because as I started to get up I actually realised there is a slightly different way that you can go. So then we end up crossing over and going a completely different way, walking through the Legoland car park, which I've never done before, finding a load of different models. And also what we do try and do, it is raining, so what you're going to see me wiping the front of the screen quite a bit. I'm just not going to keep cutting that off, so it is what it is. And I do actually end up holding it a slightly different way to try and protect the camera, because the waterproof case for this was actually buried at the bottom of my bag, and I need to get everything out, but the grass was wet. So what I actually end up doing is putting it down the front of my hoodie, so you might from time to time see me pick it up and put it back down again, but I'm just too lazy to edit that little bit out. So if you have not caught the first video and you're new to the channel, welcome, and also welcome to everybody that has subscribed recently. Thank you very much for spreading the word. The numbers are slowly starting to grow. We are nearly at the 500 mark, which I know is only baby numbers, but fingers crossed from there on I'll then be able to sort of do the type text to promote the videos a little bit easier, and then you guys will know when the videos are coming. But plan of attack is a minimum of 4 videos a week, and then as I start to get more and more places, especially over Christmas and Halloween, there'll pretty much be a video uploaded every single day. But if you are new to the channel and you did not see the first video of this uploaded, the airport is to the left hand side. So I basically walked out of the Billund airport. You walk in a straight line. The Sleep Hotel is just on the right hand side. That's basically where we started this video, and then we keep coming up to the T-junction at the end. Then we are going to turn left. From there we just walk all the way up in a straight line to the airport is just to the left. We get to a roundabout at the top, you then turn left again, and then you keep the airport obviously to the left hand side, but on the right hand side that is exactly where the Legoland park will start. Now we will walk past a little bit of the park, but this time it's actually, like I said, it's going to be slightly different, because last time I actually finished at the Legoland front entrance and then just walk back. Because I walk a slightly different way, it actually gives us the opportunity to walk into the Lalandia car park as well. So it's actually really handy to know, because I've always come back from Lalandia and I've been walking back to the airport, and I always get some snacks from Lalandia before I walk down, or just get a quick drink, and obviously drink it before you go through the passport control and everything like that. And I always get caught out. I've never known which way to go, and then you're just a little bit too far away from the actual crossing, because it looks like you get to a bus stop, and it's never sort of made sense to me why the road sort of comes to a dead end, but it doesn't. What you actually have to do, you have to walk down a little bit, cut through the car park, but there is a path under a load of trees, so obviously it'll get very green, very luscious very quickly, and then you can then snake it around to the car park, then get to the main crossing if you want to, then cross over to the front gates of the Legoland park, or you can carry on just walking down in a straight line, obviously the reverse order of what we've just done. So we are still on the outskirts of the airport, and then we are going to take a cross over this road and then just walk up, and then you can see that we will be having a look soon enough at all of these new models slash sort of statues that they have put in. Now these do look very good at night. These are all lit up at night. I did film them last time I came, but it just didn't come out clearly enough, which is such a shame. So next time I come over, if I get a chance to come back down this way at night, because obviously it is a bit of a trek depending on where you're staying, I will try and do my best to film this sort of bit. If I stay at the Sleep Hotel, obviously it'd be very, very easy, because I physically have to walk past this to get up there. Now, if you might recognise, this is the way up to the Lego Park, like I said at the start, and obviously you have got the airport to the left. Now this was the first time I think I flew in over this road. So as I flew in, there is a video available, but it did get chopped off on that video, which is slightly annoying. I didn't hit record in time before we started to land. As you come in and you start landing from the right hand side and land on the runway on the left hand side, you actually see the centre of Billund, you see the Lego house, you see the sculpture park, you literally fly beside the Lego land itself, then obviously you land. So you get a really nice view of everything Lego oriented as you start to land and come in. I don't think I've ever come in that way before, so it's something slightly different for me to see. And obviously, like I did say in that previous video, I was quite lucky that I didn't have anybody sat beside me either way, even though I was in the middle, because it was just a bonus upload video, and you guys get to sort of see everything that is going on. But like I said, you are in a completely different view, so it does allow me to sort of drink and everything else like that, and you can obviously see what my hands are doing. So it's a little bit of a weird angle because you are technically underneath my chin, so I'm trying to keep you covered because it's that sort of really fast spitting rain. I did not want to get the camera damaged this early on into the trip, nor do I ever want to get the camera damaged anyway. But actually looking at it, it makes my life a lot easier because it means I don't have anything in my hands to hold. I can do all the little bits and pieces as I'm going, and then I can just do the voiceover after. And if I'm wearing a black hoodie and everything else like that, you can't really see that I've got the camera there. So it's I think you can still see everything. Let us know what you think. Do you prefer it a little bit higher up, or can I get away with it just being there? Because it's a lot easier for me doing this, especially if I'm trying to plan other bits and pieces, or on the phone to somebody at the same time, or whatever like that. Not that I would be obviously doing this sort of thing, but it's a completely different view for me to watch back because I had no idea how this was going to record. I'm glad actually you can see everything, and my hands are just completely free, which is nice. But if you pay attention, you will see helicopters taking off, and there will be a couple of planes and everything landing like that. This is more of a test for me, this video as well, with regards to just how much you can see if I have to lean back, how much does it twist when I twist round, because like I said, it was directly down the centre of my hoodie, and then just trapped on the top, so it was sort of pinned in between my hoodie and the t-shirt. And yeah, I think it came out okay. It was only to protect it from the weather. The weather started off a little bit rough, and then it got nice during the day. And I did say this in a couple of videos before, it absolutely smashed it down in the evening, and I got absolutely drenched. So you do have all of those videos to look forward to, but it does mean, like I have been promising, I got out and about in the evening. We get to walk through the sculpture park at night, so you can see how safe or not safe, in your humble opinion, that it actually is. I personally think it's absolutely fine. And then obviously from there, we do have some other little bits and pieces that we can look at, but the main thing that I'm most surprised about is the amount of building work that had been done in the sculpture park itself for the new area that they are adding. Now you will have all of my confusion as we go within that video, so I don't want to spoil that one too much, but I end up dribbling in that video and walking around for a long period of time until I actually realise it's not what I originally thought it was going to be, and it's going to be absolutely amazing at the same time. I did do a bit of a scouting mission in the evening. That's where I got caught out badly in the rain. Got absolutely drenched, had to then try and dry all my clothes at the Legoland Holiday Village in front of a little radiator, because all I've got in my bag, like I have said in the previous video, is a pair of boxers, socks, shorts and t-shirt, and that's it. I don't have a spare hoodie. I've got a little waterproof jacket, and that is all you can fit in and take. As I said, I've got more camera equipment than I do clothing. But this is realistically how long it is going to take you to walk from the airport up to the Legoland front gate, and then it's obviously then you will probably be quicker than me because I end up filming some of the new models that I've spotted and walking down some of the new paths and things like that to the Lalandia. So if you are thinking of walking from Lalandia, or walking to Lalandia, or walking to the Legoland Holiday Village or the Legoland front entrance, they now know exactly roughly how long it's going to be taking. Obviously you might either have to add on a couple of minutes if you've got a pushchair or large amount of luggage. Now bear in mind, with your luggage and things like that, you can obviously drop that off at the Legoland Holiday Village, or at the accommodations potentially that you're staying at close. Or what you can do is that they do have sort of almost like cabin size lockers for your big suitcases at the Legoland Park that you can just hire for the day. So if you have a massive suitcase, just as you come in on the right hand side, there'll be a member of staff, and then you can then just get your PIN code, pay. I don't know how much it is, but you can just pay basically a couple of pounds, and then you can have a large locker for either your massive sort of 22 kilo suitcase or your smaller cabin bag. Obviously you might need to hire 2 of them if you've got a big family, but then that does free up your hands, and then you can just grab yourself a bite to eat, and then you can just enjoy the day. So if you are thinking of doing the Legoland day one when you land, basically do the Ryanair flight that I've done, and then you go straight to the entrance of the park, which will be, it would have opened by about 20 minutes by the time you actually get there, and you are worried thinking, oh, actually I'm going to lose a load of times, I've got to go to my hotel first, or yada yada yada. You do not need to worry. If you're staying at the Sleep Hotel, you can just put your stuff in the luggage hold there. There's a massive luggage hold that you can put your stuff in, and obviously you walk past that hotel on the way up, so that's super easy. If you're staying at the Legoland Holiday Village, it's about 5 minutes off from the entrance of the theme park, so you could just do that first if you wanted to, and you are away. With some of the other hotels, like the hotel number 8, they don't have a luggage hold, but you can just leave it by reception, but that is at your complete own risk. I have done that once, it was absolutely fine, but on the way up, if I was staying at that hotel and I was going to the park and I didn't want to lose any time, I probably would just use the massive lockers and then just put the suitcases and everything within that, and it would just be a lot easier. So I'm learning more and more as I come up, and hopefully it makes it a little bit easier for you guys with regards to what you're going to do when you're staying here. There is, I did say again in the previous video, but if you've not yet caught that one, there is actually a lot more different types of accommodation than I first realised. So if you use booking.com or hotels.com or any other sort of .com site with regards to accommodation, you can find extra accommodation if you are staying for 3 nights or more. They then open up all the different types of B&Bs and everything like that, so I'm not too sure obviously if there is a minimum period that you need to stay for, but some of them are a couple of miles further away from the park. So if you are thinking of walking it, you're probably looking like an hour and a half walk until you hit your accommodation. But then if you are only going to be paying £60-70 a night for say 5 beds, for example, and you're all having like a group get together and a meet, it would be worth doing, and then you could just stay an extra night or two and basically use your landing day as like a nice chilled relaxing bit. So we are almost come at the corner. You can see the rain is slowly getting heavier, so you're going to see me wiping off a little bit more and more. We're 12 minutes into 34, so hopefully I'm not boring you too much, but yes, like I said, if you did not want to worry about your luggage too much and you just wanted to get to the Lego park, so say for example you are doing the Lego park on day 1 and the Lego house on day 2, then you don't have to worry, and you especially do not have to worry if you are walking directly from the hotel, sorry, the airport, to the Lego house. They have a massive locker storage room, so if you've booked a ticket, so you can only do this if you've booked a ticket, your wristband that you get given will then open up a locker which is completely free to use, and they have got the bigger lockers for your big suitcases. So they've got the cabin size bag suitcases, and then they've got the big ones as well, and you can just scan your wristband, it will open one of those doors up, you pop it in, shut it shut, lock it, and then it does allow you then, from when the Lego house closes, because obviously you're going to spend all day there, it will then allow you to walk to your accommodation, then just check in, and you don't have to worry too much you have to worry at all then about what you're going to do with the luggage, because when you check out in the morning, you'll be able to put it into the luggage hold, go to the park, then come back, get your bag, and then leave if that is what you're going to be doing. Because depending obviously what flight you get, if you get a Ryanair flight, you don't have to check in until about 7 o'clock in the evening. The park, I do believe, will be shutting at sort of 5-6 o'clock in the evening for that, so you'll have plenty of time to get yourself down and then get into the airport before you have to get there for 7, because the flight won't leave until sort of 10, so that will give you plenty of time. But obviously just check with what airline you're flying with and what times your flights are, but I would personally say that is the easiest way of doing it if you are going to be staying there just for 1 night 2 days, which I will more than likely probably have to do for Halloween now, because I'm looking at the Halloween hours, and it kind of doesn't make sense me being there for 2 nights if I go with British Airways from the Heathrow, because I won't get in till late, and then even though I won't get in till late, I will then get there to the park early. The park's open very, very long hours on specific days, and then I won't get back to my accommodation till like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So it's almost a bit of a waste having 2 nights, spending 2 nights at a hotel where you're going to spend absolutely no time whatsoever. So potentially it might be worth me going from Stansted. It might change, plans might change, but that is my forward thought process at the moment, basically mimic what I've just done now, but I am tempted to do the Legoland on the first day. So I'd actually land Saturday morning, spend all day at the Legoland Park, potentially 3/4 of the way through the day, check in to the accommodation, then go back for an evening visit because it is open till late, then come back to the accommodation and then spend the Sunday at the Lego house. That is potentially what will be coming in the Halloween aspect of it all, because this voiceover has been done on the 15th of September and I will be going, if it all happens, on the 6th or 7th of October. So it's really not too far away. It's only a couple of weeks and I'll be going back again, but it'd be amazing how much it's changed. And I did not visit the Legoland Park on this visit. I literally only did a good walk around, a good explore, which, like I said, all of those videos are going to be in the accommodation / how to get around playlist. And then you've obviously got the Home of the Brick playlist where all of the Lego house videos will be uploaded. I've already uploaded the birthday celebration stuff already, just because I didn't want it to overlap with the Halloween bits and pieces. So there'll be lots and lots of videos from the Lego house to come, and lots of just basically walking around and exploring like this. So now this is the bit where you now cross over. You have this is the main roundabout. So just remember the traffic is on the opposite side to the UK, so just be careful with that. Now this is where it all slowly, slightly, quickly changes, because what I did do is last time I crossed over this way, crossed straight over, and John was good. And I have turned the volume down massively with the wind because it was really, really windy. That's why I'm not speaking to the camera on this. I do actually speak to the camera more than what I thought I was going to do, which is much easier for me with regards to editing it all together, because obviously I have to sit down, watch this back in real time, speak over it, then render the file, then upload it to YouTube. So this is just basically adding on an extra 34 minutes and 13 seconds of me putting this all together, but it is what it is, isn't it? So I always say in all the videos, if you get bored of my voice, just mute me and then you can just look in and take in all the sights and sounds. But the car park to the left, that is part of the Legoland car park. Then you've got the barriers, those little sort of yellow and white sort of blocks of cheese. That is the cycle lane, and then the path is just past that. But everything to the right hand side currently, that is Legoland Billund. To the left hand side is the car park. Now I did get slightly scared because walking around doing all of this, I get to the entrance of Legoland Billund, and bearing in mind today is a Thursday, it wasn't open. It was just shut. And I always thought that the parks were shut midweek. I didn't check. Obviously always check, because the kids have gone back to school, and it was closed, and I was like, oh no, is the Lego house shut as well? Luckily that was not closed. I did start to panic, because when I actually got to the Legoland holiday village to check in later on, I didn't think any of the lights were on, but there was hardly anybody there. I literally had the whole thing to myself, so we managed to do quite a bit actually at the holiday village. We have a full tour. We managed to find all the donkeys and the goats and everything like that as well, so all the animals that were missed last time, they are filmed and will be coming up within this playlist as well, so it does turn into a bit of a nature watch. End up dodging a load of frogs on the way to the sculpture park as well. So yeah, there's a lot of different things to come, which I know some of you, when you're planning your visits, it's much more handy for you to see. But by now I would have crossed over in the other video, and like I said, everything to the right hand side you could see the park. So if you were to hold the camera up into the sky, you would see all of the river rapids, you would see some of the mini land, you would see the mini boat section, the frog hoppers, the haunted house and things like that. Now this is one of the crossings where you can just turn left and go into the car park. I didn't do that because I just wanted to carry on. Going and see what is about from here, and just make it slightly different. And what I was planning on doing was I was going to get to the main crossing that everybody uses, and then I was going to cross over and stop at the main entrance of the park and film everybody there. But like I said, it was completely closed, and then my eyes started to peel off to a different direction, found a different path, thought absolutely fantastic, this is the way that we're going to go, and then we just went round from that way. And then we found a load of different models as well, which is quite nice. So we found a handful of new models. From there we then find a different path up a completely different road that then takes us to a much more quieter way to cross over to Lalandia, which is absolutely perfect if you've got Litlands and a pushchair. Not that it's, you know, it's busy and you've got plenty of sort of zebra crossings and everything like that, and loads of like push button lights that you can wait for and cross, so it's nice and easy. But this is very much more quieter. And then, as like I said, we will finish in the Lalandia car park. You have a full tour of Lalandia to come. You've got the Lego shop from Lalandia, and then I realised just how absolutely enormous the Lalandia accommodation is. And then we end up running around that trying to find the new park, which just has plenty of comedic value to it. You'll see what I mean when we start doing that. It gets very painful very quickly. So it just means next time I come back, I need to try and get into Lalandia one of the evenings, which on the Halloween visit isn't going to happen, so it might be the Christmas visit, and try and film all of the accommodation. But the only thing is that I don't think the Lalandia accommodation is going to be open in the Christmas period, so it might all be blocked off. So then I might not be able to do that until next year. So there's already planning stuff for the 2023 season, plus lots of other park visits as well. But if you can start to squint and spot all the tree colours are changing on the right hand side, you've got all the rockery and everything like that, that is where all the mini boats and everything are. Now they have added in some new models to that, so I need to get back on that ride and see. I do believe it might be the London Eye. I think the London Eye has arrived. I managed to get on this, I think it was March when the park first opened up, and the ride had only been open like 2 weeks, so all the plantation and stuff was in the process of growing back, which I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like now, because it's been a good sort of few months since I was in that park last. But they have added in the final few models as well, so it'd be really nice to see just the differences within the park, let alone all of the amazing Halloween decoration. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the park lit up at night, because when I go back in a couple of weeks it's going to get darker earlier. The park's open extended hours as well. Best of both worlds. It means I'm going to get to film all the park during the day, film it again at night for everybody, and I want to see what the Miniland looks like. But the only problem is filming the Miniland have to be done on the GoPro in the evening, because the other camera, even though it's more expensive, is absolutely rubbish at low light. So want to get as much filmed as possible. And then, like I said, the following day, fingers crossed, if it all goes to plan, will be the Lego house again for all the Halloween decorations. Now, it'll be more of a case of the actual glass displays, I would imagine, for the Halloween decorations, because obviously the main areas don't change too much. You have all the play zones and things. The red zone, which is the building zone, will, I would imagine, be changed from building a birthday cake to making a pumpkin, which obviously be really nice to see. But the big game in the green experience area, so the green zone where you go down, you've got all the minifigure scale models, that will then change to all the pumpkins. Now there'll be multiple pumpkin games going, I would imagine, so I'm going to spend a good few hours filming that, in case the Miniland videos don't come out very well, because I know a lot of you do like to see all of the Miniland in great detail. So we are outside the front of Legoland Billund, and now this is where I stop and go, this is not exactly how I want to finish the video, because I was expecting a huge amount of people crossing over from the left hand side just here, and then we would have gone over and through and round. So you can see just how big the car park is. There are actually multiple signs within the car park which has lots of Lego figures on. They've got sort of like lots of different artwork compared to the one in Windsor as well, so that might be worth me giving it a much detailed explore at a later date. But I do go in and spot one or two things now, like for example this, where you have the crossing, obviously the disabled parking, and then you've got the crossing to go through into the next car park. You can see in the top left hand side there is a painter and decorator minifigure, and then you have all of them dotted around. So I thought, right, that I might save that for a later video, because this one is already long enough. But obviously I can actually start the video from here, and then we can do a bit of an explore, because I now go down this bit here to the left hand side, which I've never done. I've never gone down this bit before, because I've never crossed over at this area before. So the right hand side, we've got all the colours and everything. That is the ticket offices. So now this is all new territory to me. I have never ever come this way. I didn't know this way existed, which I know you guys will laugh about, because I've always tried to come from the Lalandia way, but you can't get to the bus stop from that way. So you can see if I walk in a straight line, there's a bus stop. If you walk past the bus stop, it then goes to a dead end. So I've always had to sort of get to the road, cross over in the middle, then cross over again, then walk back past the front entrance of the park. But this is all new. So all of this right here, I did not know this existed. This is a walkway from a different part of the car park. But like I said, this actually will carry on and continue to the Lalandia, which is on the complete opposite side of the road, mind. So it's a very, very safe way to go. It gets you away from the main roads as well. So like I said, if you've got some litlands and you want a bit more peace and quiet, especially during the day, it's going to be a lot more quieter. Obviously, when the parks are sort of turfing everybody out, or everybody's pulling up to go into the parks, it's going to be a completely different atmosphere with regards to everybody walking around. So I would imagine everybody would still use this, unless they just cut through the car park and go to the bit where it starts off, and then you cross over from there. But let me know if you have actually been into this car park before. Let me know if you knew this bit actually existed. And then this is where I now spot some models, so we are going to go for a bit more of an explore. We find these couple here, and then I think somewhere else dotted around the car park in a different video, we find a couple more as well, but I had no idea these were here. So this is just by the entrance on the way in for the cars, so this is where the ticket bit opens and closes. And then you have one of the figures which looks like it's got a very sore neck, because it is obviously the head's facing completely the wrong way, so that does look a little bit painful, but you know, she's obviously been doing some sort of yoga. But yeah, you can see it's nice to see. They've got the models just by the entrance, and this is just one of the overflow car parks, Mike. So there are multiple car parks for Legoland Billund. There are loads and loads of different ways you can go, because I have shown it before that if you were to go right at the roundabout and walk in a straight line, there is another overflow car park from there where you actually see the back of Legoland Billund, and you can see some other little bits and pieces with regards to walking in on that way as well. So let us know where you've ended up dumping your car in the past. Let us know what your favourite car park is, if you are a local to this, or do you just prefer walking around. I would imagine, obviously, if you're coming from further afield, you would do it how I've done it. Don't forget though, I am 26 minutes in, so I now can give this advice. There is a bus you can take. I just happen to walk everywhere, but there is actually a really easy bus that you can get on. I don't know the price, but there is a bus stop just where, like I said, where the bus stop is, and that will take you from the airport to that bus stop. So if you just wanted to get off the plane, you had a little backpack and you just couldn't be bothered to walk those sort of 15-20 minutes, get on the bus. The bus is directly outside the front of the Billund airport, and then you are living the dream and you are away. But obviously, because the park wasn't open, none of the barriers and everything were open, but obviously the footpath and things weren't closed off. And now we walk up this way for a bit of an explore, and then soon realise, actually, I'm not walking on a path, I'm actually walking on a road, and then the path is just on the other side, which is then what I'll walk up there a little bit, and then realise how easy it is actually just to cross over. So this is the actual path from the main road. So you can see it doesn't look like it gets used that much with regards to just paving slabs and it being slightly overgrown and things like that. So maybe not a lot of people know it's here, or they'll just tend to walk on the hard standing. So ignore the hand. Like I said, it's still spitting away with rain, so I'm doing my best just to try and cover the camera as we go. You can see the sort of the rain clouds that are in the distance there, but luckily they went the other way. And like I said, I did manage to get away with it for most of the day until I got absolutely drenched later on in the evening. But if I was to walk back this way again and I was going straight to Lalandia, I would actually use this route rather than the other route, because you are just away from the traffic. And it's just when it comes to this bit where the lights and things are, it means you can just walk down the footpath to go left and then just cross over and don't have to wait for the lights or anything to change, because you are well away from the main entrance. So where that bus is on the right hand side, I've always walked from Lalandia to basically this point, and then you get stuck. So I've crossed over and crossed over again, because the right hand side is where the Legoland flags are, and then if you can spot it to the right hand side, that is also where the sign is and the big model is saying where to go to get to the different hotels, but you can't get to the bus on this side. It's just trees, it's just blocked off. So I've never thought about walking down this way, because for some reason I've always assumed that it was either taking you to factories or it looked like it was just taking you to the airport, where clearly it's sort of like a joint car park, because there was some other buildings further afield where you had to go through another sort of ticket barrier, and that looked like it took you to the side entrance to the airport. So it looks like maybe you have some private terminals and things there, and more than likely it might be where some members of staff work, or mechanics and things, or engineers, shall I say, work on that side of the Billund airport. So it saves them having to walk all the way through, which makes perfect sense. Right, we've got about 4 minutes left, so I'm going to get in early, guys. If you can like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, that'd be absolutely fantastic. As we walk down to Lalandia. So Lalandia now is directly in front of us. Directly in front of us now is the Lego castle. So this is the bit that I've always walked over, obviously the opposite way, crossed over and gone from there. But to sort of do it from this way, it is slightly different. So it's always quite interesting to see exactly what is going on. But yeah, we walk down this way now. You can see directly to, I was about to say in front, but it's just the left hand side where that big wagon is going. That is the big sort of zip wire and play area. And now we're going to cross over, walk past the coffee house, and then we're going to basically end up in the centre of the car park. So if you're not too sure what Lalandia is, it's basically the UK's version of a centre park. So you've got everything there: ice skating, bowling, amazing swimming facilities, all the slides and everything like that. So it's definitely worth hunting down the Lalandia videos if you can. I have got one from Halloween, and I have got one from just walking around normally, and that was obviously, the Halloween was from 2021, and then there'll be, fingers crossed, a Halloween video from there in 2022, because they really do a great job of theming on the inside. They put loads of skeletons everywhere, they put a load of cobwebs, massive spiders. It just looks very, very good. So if you want to see what it looks like, head over to that. Try and find it down in the multiple playlists that are available. If not, just wait until it uploads for the 2022 video. So this is just a big coffee place. This is open. It's all open, and it is extremely quiet on the Thursday, because Friday's their check-in. So Friday, when I went in to leave, it was absolutely rammed. But when I got my pizza from here in the evening, really, really quiet, because I'm guessing the turnover is either Friday to Monday or Monday to Friday. So obviously, as the children and everything are back at school in Billund, this would be the time where, if you were coming from the UK, this would have been the week that you would have come and stayed there, because the accommodation to stay, if you split it between the amount of beds that are available, isn't too bad, but you will need a group of you to do it. But you'd all have your own double bed. So I think there's like, it sleeps 4 double beds for certain rooms if you want to. Some of it sleeps up to 12 as well. But I think some of them you have your own shower and bedroom. So if you come in as a group but you still want your own privacy, and that way you can charge everything and you can just relax by yourself in the evening, it'll be a good one to go to. It is on my list to try and stay at, because it's one of the places locally that I've not stayed at yet, but it's just not cost effective whatsoever when you are by yourself. But guys, that is it. I am done walking over the bridge, following the water around, just back by the coffee, and then we'll finish in the car park. So that is it. We are done. So guys, like I said, if you can like and subscribe and all that good stuff, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You guys take care, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Ta-da.